Duggar News, too many Duggars. Jinger says she mostly knows the names of 39 grandkids, but not all. Just like Duggar News followers, it seems that Jinger Duggar is also facing issues remembering the names of all Duggar grandkids. She claims to have most of them down, but you know it's never really easy to memorize 39 names at a time. Yes, you read that right. 39 names. Jinger recently opened up about how she can get tripped up by the ever-growing family tree and how hard it was to get all the names right. Is this true? What is this all about? Is Jinger really not able to recognize people from her family? Keep on reading to learn more about this. Duggar News. Jinger confirms she'll invite her family to the podcast. Jinger Duggar keeps spilling tea on her Jinger and Jeremy podcast while inviting several known faces. Hence, Duggar News followers were curious to know when she would invite her family to the show and discuss the dynamics. One of her fans recently asked about when Jinger's siblings would appear on the podcast. Apparently, Jinger was quick to tease her audience and asked them to stay tuned. She didn't refuse, which made it clear that something big was coming soon. Amid all this, Jinger and Jeremy recently dropped a new episode that featured Joanna. Hence, it appears that Duggar kids are now appearing on the couple's podcast, and there is a lot more to come. Duggar News. Jinger says she can't remember all the names of 39 Duggar grandkids. Jinger Duggar recently dropped a shocking bombshell on her Duggar News followers by revealing that she struggles to remember all 39 names of her Duggar grandkids. She noted that she knew most of them, but she would need some time with the new ones. This is because there are more added all the time in the family, and perhaps it isn't difficult for her to cope. Jinger further reflected on how she feels pressure on herself because she isn't able to connect with everyone. She clarified that no one was pressurizing her, but she always felt bad when she returned. The celeb further added, "Then, it's like, oh, I guess it makes sense." Jinger admitted that she FaceTimed her sisters a lot, mostly older ones. Jinger noted, "I will stay in contact with them more, and James calls a lot." She explained that her meetups with her relatives were very intentional because she believes that everyone is doing stuff. Hence, she takes the approach of setting up a date on the calendar as everyone is really busy. Jinger appears to be practical because she has realized that there is a lot going on in everyone's lives. She noted that not everyone is from the same church and community. So, catching up when everyone is up for a meal or a wedding is always great. On the other hand, Joanna also admitted that she was also facing the same thing and it wasn't easy for her as well to deal with so many people. Keep coming back to the TV season and spoilers for more updates. The Duggars, America's most famous supersized family, are making headlines once again. Not for a courtship announcement or a gender reveal, but for sheer numerical domination. With Jim, Bob, and Michelle Duggar's ever-expanding family tree now boasting a staggering 39 grandchildren, and counting, even the most devoted family members are struggling to keep track. In a recent interview, Jinger Duggar Vuldo, the sixth child of Jim, Bob, and Michelle, admitted that while she mostly knows the names of all 39 Duggar grandkids, she occasionally finds herself drawing a blank. "It's a little overwhelming," Jinger confessed with a laugh. "I mean, I grew up in a family with 18 siblings, so I thought I had experience keeping names straight. But grandkids are a whole new level." The Duggar grandchild boom. The Duggars first rose to prominence with their reality show 19 Kids and Counting, which followed the lives of Jim, Bob, Michelle, and their ever-growing brood. When the show premiered in 2008, the thought of dozens of Duggar grandkids was a far-off future. Fast forward to 2025, and that future is here with gusto. With nearly all of the older Duggar siblings married and well into the child-rearing phase of their lives, new grandkids seem to be arriving at a dizzying pace. Fans have often joked about needing a scoreboard to keep up, and even Jinger, who moved away from Arkansas and now resides in Los Angeles, admits it's not easy to track the family's exponential growth. A family roster challenge. During the interview, Jinger was put on the spot and asked to list as many of her nieces and nephews as she could. "Oh wow, okay," she said, taking a deep breath before rattling off names with impressive speed. Spurgeon, Henry, Ivy, Garrett, Gideon, Felicity, Evangeline, Bella, Brooklyn. She got through a solid portion before pausing. "Wait, did I say Addison? And who am I missing from Joe and Kendra's bunch?" she mused. Fans had a good-natured laugh at Jinger's predicament, acknowledging that 39 names and counting is a Herculean feat to remember. "Honestly, I don't blame her at all," one Duggar follower wrote on social media. I can barely remember my own cousins' kids' names, and they don't multiply at Duggar speed. How do they keep track? With birthdays seemingly happening every other week, how does the Duggar family manage? Apparently, spreadsheets and group chats play a crucial role. We have a big family group text, and sometimes someone will just drop in with, "Hey, it's so-and-so's birthday today," which is super helpful, Jinger explained. And, of course, my mom is incredible. She somehow remembers every grandkid's birthday, middle name, and even their favorite animal. Jinger also noted that several of her siblings have developed creative strategies for keeping track of their own children's expanding cousin network. Some rely on family trees drawn out on whiteboards, while others use custom photo albums with labeled pictures. Joy was telling me that she has a chart she updates every time a new baby is born, Jinger added. Honestly, that's genius. More grandkids incoming. The question that inevitably follows any Duggar discussion is, how many more grandkids will there be? The answer, unsurprisingly, is that the number is only going to keep climbing. With several Duggar daughters and daughters-in-law currently expecting, it's only a matter of time before the grandchild count hits 40 and beyond. Jim, Bob, and Michelle, who have long been vocal about their belief in having as many children as God grants them, seem to be embracing their rapidly growing grandparent status. It's such a blessing, Michelle has said in past interviews. Every new grandbaby is a joy, and we love seeing our children raise their own families. Jinger's life outside the Duggar bubble. While Jinger enjoys keeping up with the family, she has taken a different path from her Arkansas-based siblings. She and her husband, Jeremy Vulo, have built a life in Los Angeles, where they are raising their two daughters, Felicity and Evangeline. Unlike the more traditional Duggar family approach, Jinger has embraced a more modern, mainstream lifestyle, including wearing pants, a major shift from the skirts and dresses, Duggar dress code, and openly discussing her evolving religious beliefs. Despite these differences, Jinger remains close with many of her siblings and frequently shares updates about her family on social media. "I love my family dearly, and I think it's incredible to see everyone growing and doing life in their own way," she said. Can you name all the Duggar grandkids? For fans who love a challenge, naming all 39 Duggar grandkids from memory is no easy task. In fact, some have turned it into a full-fledged trivia game. It's like a Duggar version of Jeopardy, one fan joked. You think you've got them all, and then, bam, you forgot Mason or Madison. With the Duggar family tree continuing to expand, it might not be long before even Jim, Bob, and Michelle themselves have to pause and double-check a name or two. But one thing is certain, whether or not everyone remembers every name, there's no shortage of love and matching outfits in the Duggar family album. So, can Jinger be blamed for forgetting a name or two? Absolutely not. In a family where the grandkid count could soon outpace the number of U.S. states, even the most devoted Duggar historians might need a cheat sheet.